Oh my gosh. That was something else. Let's see, are we live? There we are. There we go. We're gonna give it a couple minutes here for a couple people to join. Even if no one joins within 2 minutes, I'll probably start going over some things. So that way, because this video will be posted on the channel afterwards as a public video for everyone to go back and watch if they ever wanted to. So I try to keep it not so long of a waiting intro, not so long of a beginning intro. Um, if you are joining this right now and it is posted on my channel, it's not actually live, then you could skip it probably 2 minutes ahead, and that's when I'll probably be starting. We're already at 1 minute. I have my chat open up so I can see your guys' comments. I just thought about something actually. This would be way better. Let's see. If I'm not mistaken, I can go to the live. Pretty sure I can go to the live comment section on my phone too, and that actually might make it easier. I'm doing another live stream tonight also. Let's see. All right. All right, we're just gonna jump right in it. Yes. Okay, we're at 1 minute and 42 seconds. So within about 10 more seconds, I'll probably start going over the stock. And we called this out, by the way, just for the people that are watching right now, what you have to look forward to. We called out the whole scenario today whenever it pushed all the way to 279. It's actually at 281 almost right now. And I'll tell you exactly why that happened, exactly why I called it out yesterday on Instagram. I told everyone on Instagram, I said, hey, yesterday, I said, could this be bottom overall? You can go look at the picture on my Instagram. I just posted again today, and I called it out and showed why, but not in depth, obviously, because it was just a picture. But I'm about to go over how you could have took advantage of it and how you could have took a position today, in the morning on this dip here. But first, let me put this wax on my braces. It came off and it's like killing my lip. It'll take 2 seconds. Ow. Okay. Okay, we're good. Sorry about that. Complications. Yes, last night's live stream was pretty sick. Fantastic predictions. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I called it out yesterday because this push was so big that it was let's see here. So this push that I saw yesterday. Now, I was expecting a push just because it gapped down, and a stock isn't just going to start falling like that, just out of nowhere, especially when it comes to SPY. So it pushed all the way up yesterday and pushed to 276, and then fell back down and pushed all the way back and broke highs at 276.50. And I know it sounds complicated, but one of the reasons is because yesterday, this is where, like, typically, like, if you get a support from yesterday, like a general support area, um, then you could see that, it broke back above, almost like it made it this 100% fall and then 100% recovery. So that was a really big sign that, okay, obviously this could be bottom. That's why I posted the picture yesterday saying this could be our overall bottomed out area. And then I even told everyone in the last night's live stream, which just went public, I saw it was unlisted. I just made it public though, so you can go back and watch it if you want to. But I was talking about what happened overnight, and it had this curl from last night right here. The fact that it fell 100% and went right back up 100% again, it basically what that showed is that no one wanted to trade below this price. The price could not remain trading below this price. This is where people get confused. Yes, the candles fell below this support, and once, obviously it was traded below that support, but did it maintain the trading below that support? No, the general area that it was trading at is in between this support and this resistance. So therefore we can kind of get an understanding that people weren't basically the bears are all out. The bears are, the bears have been trying to sell, 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 see how low they can get the stock, right? And then boom, we hit this bottom here, bounced up, it pushed all the way back down, bounced again, pushed all the way back down, and then bounced again and broke highs. Obviously, that's a valid bounce, and so now we know to look out for further highs. Now today, watch this. This is incredible. You could have taken a position at 277 easy, and then sold it to. I would have sold at 279 for the safety, because it could have broke the support and kept going down, but instead it held, and now it pushed to 281 almost. Um, but watch this. This right here could have made you a lot of money. And guys, I promise it is so much easier than you're making it. Our minds, we're human beings. We overcomplicate everything, every situation. So understand this. Look, now this would logically make sense on how you could have day traded this, or you could have scalped it, or you could have completely traded just this whole entire day and then sold. Because I even saw it right here, right at this moment. I knew. I was like, okay, this could come back down because it's getting weak. As you can see, highs were broken. It broke more highs, and now it's trying to break more highs. But noticed how the highs are getting littler. It's not breaking highs as much. So right here, I noticed, oh wow. So right when that red candle formed, I was like, oh, there's a big resistance. It's getting weak. It can possibly come back down. Don't short it. The trend is your friend. The only reason I say that is because it doesn't mean it has to come back down. It means that it's either going to go sideways into a consolidation trend, and then it's going to pick a direction, right? It's going to go either up or down, and obviously it picked up. But look how you could have entered here. I kid you not, you could have taken a position at 277 solid, even lower than that. Let's see. People always wonder how do my call outs so perfect that some people guess whether or not I actually am real. So check this out though. Um, I'm about to explain this really detailed, and this is something you want to write down because just look. Um, so see, yesterday, first of all, we had our resistance from yesterday. Okay, so everything that happened overnight. Now look, it's trying to, it's pushing, right? That's something we haven't seen before because it's been downtrending a lot. So even after the big push that happened yesterday, it's still trying to push up. So it comes back down for this good deal area. And now it's just, it's trading. We're watching. We're open eyes, open ears. Um, we're just watching. Let it do its thing, and then we'll take a position after the confirmation. Right here is where we start getting confirmation. So most people try to enter right out of the gates, and what I mean by that is at 9:30 when the bell rings, the market opens, and people try to take a position. They would have saw this right here and said, "Oh, it broke highs." Which yes, technically it did, but you gotta watch out because remember, you can't play bull patterns in a downtrend in a bear market, right? And overall, we are in a bear market when it comes to the 1 hour chart. Now, the overall over that, the 4 hour, 180 day, half a year, we are in a bull market. So we just got to watch out for this 1 hour to eventually change pretty soon. And I'm pretty sure we got that today. But now, I don't know if you guys noticed this, but see how it broke lows? That doesn't mean to start shorting it, right? It doesn't mean to, yeah, you can get a little scalpel when it pushes back up and then short it back down, but you don't know how low it's going to go. This is why I say just watch. Make a time limit. Do not take a position unless it's a past 9:45 or a past 10 o'clock, right? See, so 10 o'clock's right here. Don't ever take a position if it's below 10 o'clock. That is my best bet on definitely someone that's beginning. Now, if you're not just a beginner and you're a professional trader and you've been doing it for years and years, then obviously you can kind of judge, but it's done pre-market hours. That's very powerful. As in, like we get this heavy support here from this big push, and obviously, since it, boom, it broke highs, then that was a valid, strong support. Now we know to look out for that. So when it rejected here, started pushing down, then we simply know that it doesn't have to. First of all, if it's growing, it's probably not going to touch that same support. It's going to be a little bit higher, as in it's going to make a higher low. So it is higher than this. The low here is higher than the low here. So it's growing. Not only that, here's how you could have totally got in on the position at 277 solid, or 276.80, and let it push all the way up and sell. Right. So here's how. It comes down and mark your support. I'm going to try to explain this very simply. It pushes up to retest. It wants to break highs, right? If it's growing, obviously it's going to be breaking highs like this. So We're watching for that. Remember what I said about the 100% fall and then the 100% recovery. So it retests and says, no, it cannot break. Remember, we are just watching. We have not taken a trade yet. So it falls all the way back down and we're still watching. And then it hits this low right here on the day, as if when you were watching it at 9:55, let's just say, this was technically the low of the day. Um, so it pushes up and makes 100% recovery. That right there, that's just instant, almost instant, the first indication, right? Almost confirmation. So it fell 100%, rose to try to recover, couldn't recover 100%, right? So it's still falling, fell 100%, and then it was rising up, and then it recovered 100% of that fall. Fell 100%, then recovered 100%. Now watch what happens. Now, since we know it recovered 100%, we have an indication that that's a bottomed out area. Just like I said yesterday, that's how I called it out yesterday. Just on a larger chart, so I knew the overall direction could be changing. Now we get this kind of resistance here. It hit here, rejected, 100% recovery, rejected, pushback, and then 100, 100% of that little fall, recovery, and now instantly we know. And if you did enter here, then that's okay. You just watch out for, obviously set your stop loss below this area. So if it were to break below this area, then yes, you could cut your loss, but it didn't. So you get this kind of engulfing bull candle here, and then one more engulfing bull candle here. That validated our bounce, right? That was a valid turnaround, as in it's going to retest this area for the fourth time. Therefore, it's most likely going to break if it's still trying to test that area. Basically, like if you let's see, I don't want to like put a weird example out there, but let's just say there's some kind of strong window or something. If you punch it once, right, and then you punch it twice, and then you punch it three times, and it's cracking every time you hit it, then the fourth time, a fourth punch, it's going to eventually break through if it keeps retesting. So it retested, 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 and keep in mind, every time it falls, it somehow recovers right back where it fell from. That is a bottomed out indication. And so a lot of people could have taken the position here or just waited for it. Typically what I teach is let it break highs, and it broke these highs here, and then wait for the good deal, and it comes back down at 277.25, and then it's a good deal, and you bought in here, and then you could have sold here. But if you were like the long trader on the day, for the whole day, I would have, personally, I saw it right here, and I was like, okay, obviously that's going to be a bottomed out indication right there, so it's probably going to retest and start trending up from here. It's not wanting to trade below here, as in the bulls are strong, obviously, because every time it falls, these bulls bring it right back where it fell from. So they're stronger than the bears, as if right now. So technically speaking, when we're right here on the day, we're telling ourselves, okay, so the bulls are stronger than the bears. That means today bulls probably take control. And so it comes down to break lows again and couldn't do it. Bears weren't strong enough. So then the bulls take control over the day, and it starts pushing up, and then waiting for the good deal. People let it pull back, and then it's a previous resistance here. It doesn't have to be perfect, in fact, but sometimes people have OCD. But it comes back for a good deal. It bounces, pushes back to retest, and then it bounces again. And then right there, okay, obviously people aren't wanting to trade below this price. That was a pullback, not a sell-off. It's not just going to break highs and then start trending down. But it was, it pushed up and broke this previous resistance that it rejected from. See, 100% fall, 100% recovery again. And then it pulls back for a good deal, and then people enter. It's exactly what happened here. Exactly. So 100% fall, 100% recovery, pulls back for a good deal, people enter, pushes up. And then right here, 100% fall, 100% recovery, pulls back for a good deal, and then pushes up. It is a pattern. It's just how a lot of professional traders think, and you want to trade by their side. They have the big money. They're the big dogs in the market, so you don't want to trade against those institutions and the professional traders that are throwing millions. Now here, a lot of people would want to short it here because, as you can see, it breaks And I totally get it too. You hear all these stories about the wedges, how the ascending wedges and all that. I don't trade based upon wedges anymore. Um, I used to, and it would mess me up a lot. But you can kind of get this wedge here, and a lot of people are like, "This is very bearish." Pushes up, and it pulls out of the wedge and starts falling. But not when it's very bullish, it doesn't. That's the thing. You can trade. That's why I say don't focus on. People look too much into like candlesticks. People look too much into patterns to where they're drawing these patterns that look like a freaking dinosaur that's like um, going all sorts of directions, even going like backwards. Like, no, like it's overcomplicating the market. And all you have to understand, and this is why I stress not to use the trend tool. And the only reason you should be using that trend tool is to see how many days or how many hours or what your percentage is. Um, or if you're, I trade options, so it's kind of irrelevant, but you can kind of see how many days or hours. Like, see how it says it's 1 hour from that trend line? That's an hour. So you can kind of see what an hour is. It does kind of help out, or you can just use your time frames. But I focus on price levels. You can click once, click, and then it moves. Click twice, boom, you get a solid horizontal line. Um, Focus on support and resistance, not ascending support and resistance. It's too complicated, right? Even for professional traders, they know not to do it because it messes them up. And I guarantee I know about 4 people on YouTube right now that are professional traders, right? Their YouTube's pretty big. I literally call out their mistakes in every single video. I don't, in my own mind, I don't sit there and purposely just, you know, speak it in our comments. Hey, you're messing up, and this is why. No, because they're not going to listen to me. You know, uh, they have strong egos, basically. So, but one thing I'm trying to explain though is they keep trying to draw all these ascending supports and ascending and descending. Now, one thing I think the ascending patterns do is it tells you the momentum of the trend. So, not look at it as a support, but look at it as a okay, so obviously the momentum is starting to weaken because what is it not doing? Look, if I duplicate my support here, so it was typically trading, it rejected and then rejected, 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 rejected. So technically speaking, don't look at it as a resistance. Look at it as okay, so the momentum of the stock is going in this direction, right? This is the momentum of it. But now it's not touching this area. And goes up to retest, can't touch that area again up here where it should, or it usually does. So now you know, okay, obviously it's weakening, but that doesn't mean it's going to fall because if it consolidates at a high price too much, then you understand, okay, it's just basically remember what I said about a runner, right? I even called it out yesterday. It was like 100% profit, 110% profit. Um, Yesterday, I called it out. If a runner doesn't take a break, then they're going to have a heart attack and die, right? That's just how it works. If there's a fast runner like yesterday, and I called it out, it ran right here. Right here it is. I called this out at 274.42, right when it broke that high there. And then I even psychologically told myself, sell price 275.52. Now it touched exactly 275.52, actually 53 in this candle. Um, but I told myself to sell at 275.52, even though at one point it did trade way up here. But remember, a fast runner, I bet people were investing like crazy here. The beginners were all like, holy crap, it's ripping, I'm getting in because it's going to keep going up. But no, fast runners without taking breaks are fast fallers, if not more, which is what happened. And then it recovered 100% of that fall again back to 272, 275.52. So, hope you made bank today. Sorry, call up to 500% today. Yeah, thank you, Taylor. I just saw your Instagram post, or your Instagram message you sent me. Yes, definitely. Today was a good trading day. We honestly, I think the best times to trade is whenever there's like this downtrend going, and then all of a sudden you get the consolidation for an uptrend, or back for a downtrend. But the consolidation points are always volatile because people are trying to fight for the direction. So you can basically just draw horizontal support and resistance and just sell and buy at the support and resistance. It's like the best thing ever. But back, no, I'm trying not to get distracted. Back to what I was saying though, is a runner that doesn't take a break is going to have a heart attack. A runner that takes a break is going to be more efficient and he's going to run more laps. So, this runner, it ran, right? And now, yes, it's getting weaker, but let's watch to see if it takes a break. And look what it's doing. It's taking a break. It's not coming right back down. It's just taking a break, taking some breaths for another run. And then we get another run. Most likely, this is our bottomed out area. I'm going to go to the 1 hour chart here and show you guys why. We got a support here from a downtrend. Now we've done something kind of different than most, than that's been happening usually. Usually we just get this consistent downtrend. Now we got this really big push right back where it used to trade. So we're trading back where it used to trade, 280.50. You guys can literally look at my Instagram stories. I called it out and said my desired price. I called this out last Friday. I said it in my last night's live stream too, before this even happened. I said last Friday, my desired entry is 273 solid. Now, it didn't touch exactly 273, but I also understand that if the overall pattern's growing, it's probably going to be a higher low, right? So, obviously, it's not going to touch this exact 273 area right here that it touches usually. But it did get pretty close, right? I could have got filled at 273 at one point. But I really wanted to focus on, see the 4 hour, how it bounced here, and then rejected the trade back below, and then resisted right here to make lower lows. Yes, technically right there, we would say, okay, it's going to be making lower lows. But now look what happened. After today, when it pushed all the way to 280.81, then technically speaking, it broke highs here. Now, I'm not saying this thing is going to just rip right back up to its previous resistance. That's not how the market works. We need to see some consolidation and some pullbacks for a good deal. Just like on the 1 minute chart, what we saw was it pushed up and broke highs, right? But then it comes back down about 50% of that push for a good deal. You get 50% off, and then you get to enter for a good deal, right? So on the overall market, it does the same thing. It pushes right here, breaks its highs. Now wait for the good deal. It's going to be about 50% of this push, most likely, previous support here. So it's probably going to come back down sometime. It could go completely sideways. It could do that and then push, or then push down. It doesn't matter. We're just all, open eyes and open ears. But if this does push back down to 276.87, I wouldn't enter. I wouldn't. I would wait for the confirmation of the curl, and then when it breaks a high on that, that small area, for example, there. So if it came back down and touched this area and pulled back up, two different candles, then I would definitely, on the 1 minute chart, you can more or less see the breaking highs a lot better. So if it broke highs, then yeah, I'd take a position 277.58 or 277.60 area, let it push up to either retest or break highs. Now I would sell at the retest of 280.68 to be safe, just to be safe, because it could make a double top and come back down and do the sideways pattern. But either way, if it keeps pushing up or comes down, you still profited and maximized your profits. Now, most likely, since it broke highs and how well it did today, then yes, it's probably going to come back down. Tomorrow's might be a slow day. It's probably going to come back down to this 276.80 area and then push right back up and try to retest the 283.78 area. It's not just going to keep going up. I'm not saying it's impossible. I've seen some pretty crazy things in the stock market. But SPY's characteristic that it often does is not just to rip straight up. It goes up and then it comes back down for a good deal and then goes right back up. You're really good at this. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's a lot simpler than most people think. It's people overcomplicate it, and honestly, it upsets me because you can make so much money in trading, especially in option trading. Like when you're in option trading, you can make today would have made you 150%. In fact, Taylor just messaged me on Instagram and said, "Hope you made bank today, bro. Some calls go up to 50% today, or got up to 50% today. 100% did. Yes, some calls made 500%. So think about that. If if you invest 2 pennies and you get 100% profit, that 2 pennies turned to four. You doubled that investment amount. So if you invested $700 and you made 100% profit, then you just made $700 and your account's left with a net profit of, or a net amount of $1,400 because you doubled your account. 100% is always as a doubler of your investment. Now imagine this. Some option tradings went up a past 500% today. So you doubled that investment amount 5 times in a single day. If you invested $500, you just made $2,500 profit, leaving you with $3,000 in your account off $500. That's exactly what all due to this big push today. These runners that are about $4 runners, and look at this. A lot of people don't notice it. Great advice. Thank you. I appreciate it. But a lot of people don't notice this. It does $4, $3 to $4 runs. Look, from 280 to 266 or 276. So that's around a $4 push. Now look at this. 276 down to 273. $3 push. It was close to 277, so $3 to $4 push. And then look what happened here. 276 to 280. That's around a $4 push. So these $4 pushes can make you 500% gains. People think it's impossible, and I don't preach this all the time, but because it does look a little, how would you say that, like cliche. It does look a little false alerting, like it kind of sends off this alarm in your brain that's like, oh, no, 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 that's not right. This guy's some kind of guru or something. Um, but in reality, you really can get rich quick. It doesn't take 2 years to get rich. Now, if you want to be consistent and stuff like that, then yes, it's more efficient. Um, but if you know what you're doing, then you could be making around 20 to 100% every single day. Even if you cut 20% a day. On my Instagram, you can go look at my $500 account challenge, and watch what I turned it into in a week. In a single week, I made 20% a day, 20% 5 times a week, right? 5 trading days in a week. That's 100% a week. That means you double your entire account, not investment, but you double your entire account every single week. So it goes 1,000, or it goes 500, 1,000 next week. Next week, we're at 1,000, 2,000, 4,000, 8,000, 16,000, 32,000. You see how it's going up? It's starting to dramatically go up. Now we're at 32,000. It's like a month and a half. Okay. And then a month and a half, right? So next week, if you doubled 32,000, if you rolled over your account and doubled 32,000, you're at 64 in a week. You just made $32,000 in a single week. Off of what? You can get rich quick. I feel like that saying out there, a lot of people can't stand, but it's like everything's, everything's possible. Human beings that are on this planet right now had like less than a 0.0000001% chance that we were going to even be here on this planet. In fact, there's a number for impossible, and you can look this up. There's a number for impossible, and we as human beings are under the number of actually being able to just appear here on this planet, to come here somehow. We are under the number of impossible. So technically speaking, humans are impossible to be here. And if you really think about it, if we did the impossible, which we are, it's literally your hand right in front of you is impossible. So anything's possible. Definitely. You got to figure out ways to do it. You want me to be honest with you? When people say you can't get rich quick, it's an excuse. You can do anything. It's just because you're lying to yourself basically. So if you tell yourself, "Oh, I didn't do good today," let's see. I see people doing it all the time. In fact, I broke this habit not too long ago, but and all it does is it happens once, right? A habit starts by you make an action, that action turns to a habit, and that habit turns to a lifestyle. And that's exactly how it works. So once you do it once, if you form that to do it twice and become a habit, it's going to eventually become a lifestyle. And most people have this lifestyle of lying to themselves. Even trying to admit it to themselves, it's still hard because it's such a lifestyle. It's a past a habit. It's past a habit. So think about this. Like if you see the stock coming down and people try to short it here, right? In fact, I seen it today. I saw this today. Somebody said this today. It was at 279.70 and it tried to reject a push down. And some people were trying to short it, thinking it's going to come right back down to the support. Yes, that makes sense. It's getting weaker. The momentum is weakening. But, looking at the overall pattern and what's going on, you got to be careful because it doesn't have to do that. It can go sideways and then go up or then go down. But basically, a lot of people try to short it and then it went up and they sold for like $100 loss. I know two people that had did the same thing today trying to short it. And again, the trend's your friend, but it's because they are being smart. Overall market is down, as if you know. So when it's high, you usually do want to short in a downtrend market. But technically, what I'm saying is they would tell themselves that the market is rigged. You hear it so much. And I try to tell, I preach to the moon traders on my Instagram. So what? If the market's rigged, then go with the rig, go with the flow. Have you ever heard of that? Like, so it does not matter. It doesn't matter. And first of all, it probably is rigged. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, good Lord. I mean, the people do they do control the market. So obviously, yeah, it's going to be a little rigged probably, but it doesn't mean that you can't reverse their psychology. It doesn't mean that when this doesn't actually start coming down and you take a loss, you get mad at yourself and saying, "Oh my gosh, it should have fell and it didn't." I feel like every time I invest, it's not going to do exactly what it should do, what it usually does. And it's like, no, it doesn't usually just fall like that. It doesn't. And it showed you all day that it doesn't do that. It said up, pull back, up, pull back, up, pull back, up, pull back, up. See? So it never said that. You cannot lie to yourself. You got to tell yourself, okay, 110%, I should have just been watching the market. I need to learn from this. It obviously wasn't showing any signs of it going back down. It was breaking highs after highs after highs. Don't try to predict the reversal. That's what you tell yourself. Illustweds, what is your current position on SPY and do you consider it a bear or bull? Um, okay, so right now, I'm actually, I don't know. You know what? We need to come up with this with a name for this because you just popped this in my head. Um, you know when there's a bear market, so the bears are in control, but then there's bulls that just come in control out of nowhere. Um, there's see, here's how the market works. I'm gonna get to you really quick. This is how the market works right here, very simply. This is simple, the simple way to put it. It doesn't go from a downtrend to an uptrend. That's not how the market works. People mistake it so much. What happens is the market goes from a downtrend, sideways trend, which is consolidation. It's horizontal. It's a consolidation trend. So, and then it goes to an uptrend. Instead of going down, up, it goes down, over, and then up. Like right here, it went down, over, and then it chose its next direction, which was up. So that's waiting for the confirmation. Now, this could have also went down and started going back to a downtrend and then over, and then it decides if it should go up or down. Um, Look at it like Oreos, you know what I mean? So like right now, I wouldn't look at this as a good deal until the price settles and starts trying to break highs again. Like yesterday when the price was way up here, and I knew that the overall trading price usually is down here. See support resistance. Our trading action is taking place around this area. So when it's way up here, look at it like Oreos in Walmart. Like those Oreos are $2.76, and then when it comes down here, the Oreos are $2.74. So it's like, I know it's not a big difference, but, or you could look at it like it's let's just say $200. Let's say these tires are going for $276, or in 30 minutes you can get them for $273. Like, obviously I'd buy the cheaper one because the trading price typically is going around this area. But what you said was what's my current position on SPY? I don't have one currently because I've been day trading, but um, if I were to have one, then I'll tell you which one it would be. I would, let's see. Honestly, I wouldn't have taken a position. I mean, yes, we got a heavy support here. Like, if you can see this extend to the left, it's a resistance multiple times. Resisted big time and then fell $4. Um, One thing that oh, it's so funny. I preached these indications. Watch my last night's video. It's just uploaded to YouTube for some reason. But you could tell I literally was telling why I think the market's going to go up tomorrow, way down here, and then it went all the way back up. And I explained everything. But I would be waiting for a position. If this does end up rejecting here, which it would make sense because it's a you gotta be kidding me. And let me get my price level. There we go. If it does end up rejecting there, that would make sense. It doesn't have to, but I would want it to because, again, a fast runner that doesn't take breaks is a fast faller. So if this keeps going up, then it might end up coming way back down, if not further, and I wouldn't want to see the market crash. So, and as of we know in the 4 hour, everyone thinks the market's going to crash, and they crack me up over it. I laugh at, oh my gosh, you don't even understand. I was dying laughing in my video last night because of it, because the market is not showing one sign of it falling. I think where they're misunderstanding this is it's going up 100% and then it fell 100%. That's where people are misunderstanding. Um, but what they don't understand is the overall chart. We have this cup and handle pattern. We got this big cup, and then we got the handle, and then usually the handle breaks highs, and it goes up and breaks highs, comes back down for a good deal, and then breaks highs. So we're healthy. Um, First of all, after this big trend up, I mean, obviously you're going to want to expect a little pullback after this big trend up, and then it came back down and try to consolidate. Um, you listen to this. This is my conspiracy. No one knows 100%, right? This is my personal conspiracy that I thought of at work. So I was sitting there thinking to myself. I was like, okay, what if what if a so all right, think about it like this. Because I was on YouTube and I saw all these people talking about the stock market crash. And, you know, what if a thing about the market? So remember, it doesn't just go down and go straight up, but look what happened here. We went down and did not even consolidate, went straight back up. Now, even I knew that that's not what the market is supposed to do. So obviously, there's something going on behind the scenes that we don't know about. Now, I preached last night in the video because everyone's hating on Trump. They're saying Trump's making the market crash. Trump's making the market crash. No, first of all, the dude owns $1 billion business. The Trump Hotel's over $1 billion in New York City itself. He has more money than just that also. So obviously this guy knows what he's doing. Are you going to trust your friends that are making $7.25 an hour at McDonald's, or are you going to trust somebody that's making billions of dollars because they know what they're doing consistently? People don't understand this. When you get rich, you don't go to a millionaire and just sit there. A lot of people actually, you don't hear about it as often. No one hears about the negative when it comes to the money, but a lot of millionaires usually become millionaires and they get broke, completely go right back broke. It's all about their lifestyle. It's their how did their actions start their habit and then start their lifestyle. If their habits were bad and their lifestyle was bad, you could still become a millionaire, but can you maintain it and start growing from that million and building more? Because people can go right back broke whenever they hit a million. Um, but basically, everyone's hating on Trump, saying Trump's being a child, Trump's being a kid. He's tweeting all this stupid nonsense. He's talking about all these tariffs with Mexico and China. I mean, now there's this new Mexico tariff. We just put a tariff on Mexico, 5%, 5% tariff, if I'm not mistaken, on Mexico. And yes, when there's tariffs, it makes the market go down. But let's 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 think about this the smart way. Let's reverse psychology the smart people, right? So if you're smart, you're going to reverse psychology the people that are smarter, and then that makes you smarter. So you keep playing this game back and forth. But if you're quiet and observe instead of being the people that are loud posting all the videos, which I'm going to post one today to get attention and to let everyone know the market probably is not going to crash, in my opinion, and I'm going to show them exactly why. But I've noticed every time Trump tweets, this is a pattern. The market does fall. But really think about this. This guy's smart and he preaches that his numbers are proven and that he knows how not to make the market crash. We went into a recession right here and he brought it without even consolidating, brought it instantly right back out. And people said, "Oh, he's printing money. He's printing more $100 bills and pushing more money into America, inflation." But is that true? Because the more $100 bills you have, the less those hundreds are worth. The only reason a $1 bill is worth $1 is because there's way more $1 than 20s or hundreds. So that's why there's a certain value on them. But if you think about it, he is only disrupting the market. He is only confusing people to get out of their positions. He's shaking the weak hands out. You know, buyers aren't going to want to buy a jug of milk at $2.80. They're going to want to buy it at $2.70. So those are what the rich people and smart people and institutions want. They want it to fall a little more. So this big fall that was happening is over Trump's tweets. It's over the tariffs and the trade war going on. But think about this. He is a smart man. He is a businessman. What if, my conspiracy, what if, which this would be illegal, but it's your country. Why are you going to try to why are you going to try to tear down your own house? Don't burn your own house. It's where you live. Like, support it or leave. So think about this. Trump is tweeting these tweets that are making the market come down, but every single time he does it, it makes the market fling back up out of nowhere. It'll fling back up, and the fling is so strong it breaks highs, which changes the pattern in general. It changes the whole entire complete pattern. What if he's letting it fall, and then he's investing all this extra money he's printing out or whatever, and reinvesting when it falls, so that when it does push up, America's investment is making more money on America's trend down. So when he tweets it and it falls, basically the government of America, so America is putting in all the money they're printing, putting it all back in when it falls, and all these stocks are in SPY or whatever, and then it pushes up and makes it start growing even higher highs, changing the pattern back to highs. So, and so be it. If that's what we have to do from the market to crash, then that's what we have to do. So I think that the market is not going to crash, and that's my opinion. At the same time, you're seeing this distribution in the stock. So, stocks, the market show signs of topping. Yes, yes. You know what? Amazon actually follows the same exact pattern. Watch this. See this resistance, support, resistance, support, resistance, and then boom, broke support. Look at this. Amazon follows the same pattern. People don't even realize this. Oh my gosh, and it cracks me up. Look at this. Here it is. Resistance, support, resistance, support, resistance, support, or it breaks support and then falls. But one thing you can see is the overall trend. See, Amazon didn't just go downtrend, uptrend. It went downtrend, consolidation trend, uptrend. Now what is next? It's a pullback. After a nice uptrend breaking highs, we're waiting for a good deal. 50% of its push. So if it pushed from down here, pushed up, then it's falling for a good deal. And now, like, you can kind of see the cup and handle a little bit better on Amazon. There's this cup, and then the handle of the cup, and then boom, breaks out and breaks highs, and then pulls back, and then breaks highs. So yes, I think that it's going to keep trending up. I don't think the market's going to crash. You can also look at SQQQ. People that think the market's gonna crash cracks me up, because they remind me of these penny stock investors that are beginning and they end up losing thousands of dollars. Honestly, like, look at this downtrend. Look how strong it is. Every time this thing goes up, it pushes back down. Now it's up. What's usually going to happen as a technical trader and trading based upon past patterns? What is going to happen? Most likely, it's going to come back down. It doesn't have to, but most cases, yes, it's going to come back down. Why would you trust something like this? And for the people that don't know, SQs is the inverse of SPY. So when this one's going up and breaking highs, it comes back down and breaks lows. So it just recently broke these lows. So I would not trust to push up. Like, I don't know why people would think this thing's just going to rocket up or something. Because if you go to SPY, it's the complete opposite. It pushes down, makes lows, and then pushes up to breaks highs, and now it's coming up, and most likely SQQQ is going to keep going down, which means this one's going to keep going up. So it forms this corrective, valid cup and handle pattern. Let's see. I want to see something really quick. Alright, just making sure we got some action going on. Let's see. Okay. So one thing I wanted to say really quick. Let's see. Tesla. Tesla. Okay. People crack me up. I mean, who are you going to trust? Who are you going to trust? Some guy on the side of the road or some guy on YouTube that's telling you, hey, Tesla's going to fall to $0. It's going to fall to $0. Okay, are you going to trust that? Or are you going to trust the Elon Musk guy that's trying to build like inventions on a different freaking planet, a different world? So, look at this. Everyone's complaining about it. Oh my God, I can't even, my head hurts. My head hurts so much because people are, honestly, negative news is always has the attention, which is good for the people that know reverse psychology, like Trump, that he knows what he's doing. But think about it. When you see news on YouTube or on Facebook, whatever it is, if you see news about cancer, shootings, or a war going on, if it has those three words in it as keywords, most cases that will blow up and people will click on it. But if you see something happy, smile, friends, you most likely won't click on it. People are so thriving for negativity, negative news, which, for the people that understand that can play it in a good manner. But look what's been happening to Tesla. Um, I honestly, it's 2019. We're going on 2020. Electric cars are going to be the new thing. This is a really good deal, in my opinion. Um, Now, if you go all the way back, I don't like looking at the 3 year pattern. The reason why I don't like looking at the 3 year pattern is mostly because things change over time. A company's doing different things now than they were before. So if you look 3 years ago, most likely the cash flow is going to be a little bit different because they're doing better or not worse things. So, like, you know, that's usually what happens. You can't trade. Max I usually go is the 180-day 4 hour. That stays valid in my opinion. But if you look at this, I wouldn't invest yet because yes, the overall trend is down. Um, Obviously, and we can't predict the reversal. Can't We don't know when it's going to reverse. But what we can do is watch out for it and set alerts. And when it does reverse, we can take a position as a nice swing trade. You can see the support here, support, and then resistance. So that's a valid support and resistance. But look at this. It's breaking highs. Its previous highs it was trading at right here in this area. It broke. So now it's probably going to try to come up and come back down for a good deal and then start pushing back up. But the thing about it is Tesla's not just going to fall to $0. If oh gosh, if you have the StockTwits app, just go ahead and delete it. I'm telling you, I read a book. They proved this, and I've done it myself. They have proved that the app StockTwits. There's so many people. 98% of the world fails at investing in the stock market. 98% of people lose money. So you can literally get on StockTwits, and when the majority are saying that it's going to fall, guaranteed almost that day right there. Yeah, I was reading the book, and this is exactly what it said. It said guaranteed that day right there is going to be going the opposite way. And I was like, all right, I'm curious because a lot of people don't use that guaranteed word in the stock market. Like everything I say is based on my opinion, and I even have it in all of my videos, every single one of them, just for the safety because it is illegal to say something like or something like that, like no one knows. But one thing you can see is when you get on StockTwits for that day on the day trade, people are like, "Oh, it's falling, it's falling, it's falling." It literally starts going. I don't even know. It cracks me up. You'll have to look at it yourself. Um, but it cracks me up because if 98, it makes sense. If 98% of people lose money and they don't know what they're doing, they say the opposite. So if 98% of people, the majority, are saying it's going up, it's probably going down. And if 98% of people are saying it's going down, like Tesla, it's probably going to go up. Um, but that's like the psychology behind it because you can kind of read what they're thinking. But the same exact thing happened. Oh my gosh, the same exact thing happened to Tesla. Good freaking Lord, I love this pattern. Look at this pattern. Watch this. I absolutely love this pattern. This is exactly what SPY did. Look, fell 100%, retested, couldn't break. Fell 100%, retested, couldn't break. Fell 100%, retested, recovered 100%. There's where our eyes open. Okay, let's set our alerts. I'm going to set my alerts and then create alert so that if it breaks above this price here, that it retested and recovered 100% on, then I will probably wait for the good deal and take a position. It comes back down, boom, ding, our alert goes off immediately and it breaks highs, comes back for a good deal, about 50% of that push, good deal area. And now look, we're like, okay, I'm just going to take a position, set my stop loss below this price. That way, my margin of loss is way littler than my margin of profit. So, if it did go wrong, then so what? You just lost a little bit of money. If fees are going to be more than you lost. Um, so basically, it pushed up after this 100% recovery. Our alerts went off here, and we said, okay, it's breaking highs. Wait for the good deal. It came back down for a good deal. Market open right out of the gates. This is where you take position. See, this is where pro traders watch the pre-market hours. What happened pre-market hours? Um, I could have taken a position at 180.82, and traded this whole entire thing all the way up to 191, all the way up to 194. That is $14. That is an insane push. That is an insane amount of money. Like, oh, I don't even think you get it. That money right there is someone's yearly salary. I kid you not, that's a yearly salary, definitely for trading options. Like a lot of people preach, oh, why do you trade these 50-cent moves? Because my 50-cent moves make me 20%. Why do you trade? Why are you pointing out that I'm trading 50-cent moves? Like people sometimes point that out because sometimes I'll trade a little bitty push, like from 188 to 190. I'll trade that buy here and sell here. And the only reason is because I do option trading. So your 2% is probably my 200%. Your 0.2% is my 20%. And and yes, option trading gets more complicated, and I can make a video over it. But people overcomplicate things. Again, option trading isn't that complicated. It's the exact same thing. There's these things called they call these things I think what is it? I don't know. There's something, but it's like these certain indicators like theta, delta, gamma, and if anyone knows, these are all waves, waveforms. So delta wave, theta wave, gamma wave. It's basically the IV, which is implied volatility. It's how much volatility there is how often it changes. Now, the one thing I found out the hard way, because I used to overcomplicate it, is uh, that you only need to focus on theta. Theta is if it says it's 20 cents, that means it'll take 20 cents of your contract by the end of the day. Now, if you divide that in an 8-hour day of trading, this is going to be complicated. Don't let me confuse you. If you're going to divide that by an 8-hour day, again, 4 hours per candle on this chart right here, 4 hours, 180 days is the whole chart, and 4 hours every candle. So there's 2 candles in each trading day, meaning each trading day is around it's 8 hours long. It's a typical 8-hour day. That's a trading day. So if you take that 20 cents and divide it by 8 hours, 480 minutes, 60 minutes per hour. So you got 480 minutes. So do 480 divided by 0.20, 0.20 to be corrected. Then you're going to get something like 0.001. And you need 10 of those to make just 1 penny. So that's how often every minute, basically, it tells you every minute that you're losing about 0.0001, meaning in 10 minutes you're losing about 1 cent every 10 minutes. But you don't have to focus on things like that. All I know is buy week expirations. That's how it works. If you buy the same day expiration and it expires that same day, then your theta is going to be super high. In fact, your theta is going to kick your butt and take all your money. That's exactly what it's going to do. If you focus on a week out expiration, for example, if I bought today is June 4th. I hope I just said that right. Today is June 4th. So I would buy June 8th or June 9th expiration dates. Don't let this confuse you to where that does not mean you have to sell June 8th, June 9th. That does not mean you have to sell on the expiration date. What it means is I day trade week expiration dates because the theta is so small because it's a week away. It's not, basically why that theta is so high on a single day is because if you say, oh, the price is going to go to $210, if you go to the same day expiration and look at that, it's going to cost you about 1 penny per contract, which is really cheap. And you don't want to focus on those cheap ones, though. It's psychology behind it. It's there for a reason. But you would basically tell yourself, okay, it's going to be high in theta because the odds of it actually pushing to 210 today, and if you don't sell today on that same day expiration, then your money is worthless. Whatever you invested would disappear to $0. But if you buy a week expiration, you have an entire week for it to hit $210. So within a full week, the odds of it actually hitting 210 are actually pretty likely. It can actually do it easily. So the theta is not going to be as bad because it's not as close to the expiration date. So basically, it's like a depreciating car. My bad. It's like a depreciating car. The minute you drive it off the car lot, the minute it starts depreciating every single second of every day, it starts losing value. It's the same thing for contracts. So buy a week contract and sell it the same day. Don't just wait it out a week. I mean, day trade the week contract so that you completely just remove the theta and all the complications completely by doing that. So now you can get these 20% gains without focusing on, it takes an hour for my theta to hit me. And guess what that is? 0.0001%. Instead of 10 minutes, it's an hour. So in 1 hour, I'm not even losing half a penny. So therefore, the theta is irrelevant, and now I can focus just on trading like a normal trading day. Yeah, I can make a whole nother video over that. That's way too complicated. To like try to force in one video. We're doing pretty good. This video is hitting 55 minutes. I'll end it in about 5 minutes. Is there anything you guys want me to go over for tomorrow? Do you want me to tell you what I think SPY is going to do tomorrow? The reason I do SPY is because most of the times SPY, Amazon follows SPY a lot of times, like right there. Look at Tesla, if it'll load right there. Look at Microsoft. I don't know if it followed or not, but look at that. Um, there's a lot of things like someone just messaged me. Hey, what are your thoughts on overthinking a trade? This could be a good video. All right. Okay. Yeah, Taylor, I'll make a video over that. Oh, let me screenshot so I don't forget. Good choice. Yeah, because a lot of people do that. And I'll be honest with you, it never goes away. It's all about you controlling it. You're always gonna. We're humans. That's why I say that all the time. We're humans. We're always gonna overcomplicate things. But if you really just get tired of overcomplicating it, eventually, that's why if you stick to it, stay consistent, most likely you stop overcomplicating it because you catch on to it. But yeah, I'll make a video going over why people and how people overcomplicate things on the stock market and how you can simply look at it. Just simply take the headache out of trading. I used to say it all the time. Taylor, you even know if you're in this video, you even know in the Discord, you were there. I remember seeing you. Every single time you saw, did you see the people in Discord what they would say? They would always say, "Why do you make it look so easy?" They would say, "How do you not stress?" I would be in the voice chat sitting there talking to them. I'll say, "Hey, I'm gonna go get a cup of coffee," as the market's still trending. They're like, "Is he crazy?" And I come back and I'm like, "Hey, I'm gonna cut my profit. I made 50% today," and people are like, what the heck just happened? He just went and made 50% because he went and got a cup of coffee. Literally, I would do it every day, and it to the point it got on people's nerves. I had to start muting my microphone and just not even telling everyone I'm going to go use the bathroom and get a cup of coffee or whatnot. And it got on people's nerves because of how simple I made it look. And it's not even, I wasn't intentionally doing it. It was just the way I trade. And yeah, I'll definitely make the video on how to not overcomplicate the trading and the stock market because it does get complicated. But there's ways to do that. When you first get a PS4 and you're an Xbox player, it's complicated. You don't know how to work it until a week to 4 weeks go by. Then you're not even going to be thinking about it. You're not even going to be thinking about you uh, going over to this weird menu, clicking this game, and then you get to log on to that game. You won't even think about it. You'll just go over to it, click on it, not even realizing, oh, I'm not. It's not even complicated anymore. Um, that's how this is. Look at this like a worm game, right? You remember that game where you gotta chase the like a dot would appear and you gotta go and chase it, and you're like, okay, boom, and you consume the dot, and your worm grows, and then you gotta go chase the next dot. That's exactly how I look at this. Like, just look at it like a game, right? It's just a game. Take the emotions out, which is why a lot of people are good at paper trading because they're not using their emotions. They realize that's not my hard worked money. But if you actually just take the emotions out, pretend like there's no the money you invest, already get it in your head that it is not your money. It is paper money. If you lose it, so be it. If you get emotional, then when you lose $1,000, you're going to 100% not trade again. And now guess what? You're going to be 50 years old in the future and actually think to yourself, I could have been investing since I was 20 and continued and continued and continued and growed and like actually grew the knowledge of it. But instead, a lot of people they get affected by this, loss. You know, like basically bum yourself out. Don't get me wrong. You got to hit yourself sometimes to actually tell yourself, hey, like when you take a loss, you don't want to say, not a big deal. I'm going to do it again. You can't just say that. But you got to tell yourself, wow, that was pretty sorry. Like, I got to do better. I mean, I'm not doing good enough. It is okay to tell yourself you're not doing good. Don't lie to yourself and say you are. It was the market's fault. It's rigged. Tell yourself it is my fault. I should have known my trade. The best trade to take is no trade at all. If you don't know what the market is doing that day, just do not trade that day. Just watch it, watch it. I will be, in fact, yesterday, no, the day before, no, it was Friday. Friday when I posted on Instagram, I didn't even trade. I watched the whole entire day. And when you do that, look what could have happened here on Microsoft. You watch the whole day, you don't know what's going on. You didn't know if this was going to make a higher low. I mean, yes, it did fall 100%, recover 100%. Now you got to buy at the good deal, and then here's the good deal, and it pushes up, obviously. But it didn't have to, so you set your stop loss here, and you either buy in here and let it go up, or you just watch the day. Let it push up, let it come down, and then boom, it's at a previous resistance, new support, pushes up, not enter just yet, pushes up, breaks highs here. Now you know that's a valid bounce on that support. I guess I'll invest for a small day trade. 122, boom, I'm selling at 122.77, which is a decent margin when it comes to option trading. But that's exactly how you do it. You even see here it broke that resistance, didn't want to wait for it and just pushed. Yes, I like that. Don't say why me, say try me. I like that a lot. Yeah, that's good. Exactly. You cannot say why me. There is so much worse than your why. If you lost $1,000, there's someone out there that lost 10,000. Oh my gosh, my friend sent me a video of one of his buddies trading. He put, oh, I want to throw up when I think about this crap. He, I don't know why in the world you would invest into a marijuana-based stock right now because of what goes on behind the scenes when it comes to it. It's not legal in all of the states. So why don't risk it as if right now, not unless it's a severely good deal. This guy invested into the stock. It was at $112. I forget which one it was. But he had his money in Robinhood. That's his decision. I don't like Robinhood. They stole my money, and I'm not even kidding. I know a friend of mine named Ricky Gutierrez. It's still his money too. You guys know that already that are in Discord. And yes, 100% really did trade in Robinhood and completely just wake up one day and it's gone. Um, I have actual video and proof of it, and I remember showing it to everyone on Discord. Um, but yeah, now I'm not gonna get on that topic. But basically, this guy had $198,000 trading. Not the fact that it's in Robinhood. That's his decision. Robinhood's a pretty cool thing that they don't even charge commission. That's a good idea, and I agree with it. It's just not my preferred. I like Thinkorswim. But this guy was trading with almost $200,000. This stock went from $48 and had a gap down. This happened within a minute, 60 seconds. This stock went from $45 and gapped all the way down to 12 cents. And oh, this video was so crazy. It gave me a headache watching it. It went from $198,000 to like $1.25 is what he had inside of it. And he wasn't trading options. He was actually just trading. But oh my goodness, I can imagine that I feel so bad for the guy because maybe he was rich. Maybe it was a rich guy just putting his money in there. But then again, you got to think about it. What if it's someone that's like retiring and they just put their money in there? And it's like that would really stink, really bad. But basically, that's what I'm saying is, yeah, never say why me because there's always someone that's in a worse case than you. Don't ask, oh, it can't get any worse than this. This is rock bottom. Don't say that. Don't say it. I'm just telling you right now, don't do it. Don't do it. It'll get worse the next day. Like, I'm telling you right now, you are never at rock bottom, even when you think you're at rock bottom. It doesn't matter how bad it gets, there's always worse. Like, I kid you not. Um, there is always worse. So, yeah, say try me, not why me. That's the attitude you got to carry. Attitude's everything. Um, but I'm going to go to SPY really quick and just show what I think is going to go on. And then I'll end the live stream because we've been doing it for like an hour now. I don't know how long people like to stay. We have 4 watchers. Yeah, it's an hour and 4 minutes. So I'm just going to go over one more thing with SPY and what I think it's going to do. Um, and then I'll end the live stream. Let's see. Okay, so tomorrow, and you guys can watch out for this. That way, if I do call it out, I don't have to explain it 50 times. If people are just going to be like, oh, wow, no, he actually said this was going to happen. Um, all stocks have different characteristics. They all have their unique features. So find your stock that's going to be your best friend. Doesn't mean it'll be your only friend, It just means that it'd be your best friend, as in, what do you do with your best friend? The closest people you know from the back of your hand. You won't second guess what they do or what they say because you're so close to them. Same for a stock. If you have a stock that you mostly trade, then you understand its patterns a lot more. You understand what it's going to do off the back of your hand. You don't have to second guess it. That's SPY with me. It's my best friend when it comes to the stock market. But it doesn't mean it's the only one I trade. I trade Apple, Tesla, Microsoft, AMD, trade all of them. Um, but mostly SPY. So again, SPY broke highs here. But what is the overall trend, as if we know? Like if we go to the 1 hour chart, overall trend is down. It broke highs here too, made a 100% fall, 100% recovery. That's why, yes, you could have bought the dip here at the good deal area, but look what I would have done different than other people. I would have sold at previous resistance because it doesn't have to break highs and keep going up. In fact, I would have sold for profit when it kept actually going down. So that's why I do that. Um, Now, this is a bit different. All right, so what we get here is this did try to break highs, but it didn't break these highs, right? This didn't break these highs. It didn't. Like, okay, technically speaking, it nudged over it, but it didn't trade. It didn't successfully trade above that high. So one thing that we get different in this scenario is that this previous high, we actually stopped, pulled back, and then bounced for another area higher. So we were trading above this high. We didn't just peak it and then come back down. We actually are holding the price, meaning people are accepting the price way up here. Um, Bulls like the 280.50 price right now. So what I would be watching out for is a pullback. I don't think this is going to continue going up overnight or to the next day to 283.80. What I think is going to happen is it's going to either pull back and hold very well at 279.24 and then push up, or it's going to pull all the way back down to 276. So basically what I'm saying is I have a price target of here, and I'm going to change those words really quick. Not a price target, I have a desired entry. Desired entry. Okay, I try to stress that desired part because it doesn't mean that's where I will enter. If it holds price higher than this, then obviously I'm going to take a position. A lot of people said, well, I thought you were going to enter here. No, I said that was my desire. I would like to enter there. That would be my area that I would like to take a position. But if the trend holds really well, then obviously I'm going to take a position higher than that if it held, because people weren't accepting it to trade below that price. Duplicate. I'm going to duplicate this and put my area right here. I'm going to change this to green really quick. Actually, let's do the opposite. I'm going to change this one to green because that's where I want to take a position. I try to make it a little bit transparent. Okay, so this is what I want to happen. It doesn't mean it's going to happen. This is what I want to see, and if it and most likely this is what will happen, but things can change. A guy goes to jail for breaking in a prison 2 times in a row. Like he goes to jail or prison for breaking in a bank. There we go. I said that completely backwards. If a guy goes to prison for breaking in a bank and trying to rob him, and then he gets out and he breaks into a bank and tries to rob him and goes back to prison the second time, and then he's getting out again, and he gets in trouble and you hear it on the news, oh, this guy got in trouble, but you didn't get to hear why. What is your guess? Based upon past patterns, he probably broke in a bank and he's going back to prison. So, because it's a past pattern. But it doesn't mean that when he gets out, he can't change. It doesn't mean he's going to do that. So he could change his patterns for his future. Same for a stock. It's like it has its own personality. It can change its patterns. It doesn't have to keep going in the same patterns. That's why you're constantly learning. You can't just learn once and then give up and say you know the stock market. Every day you're learning. Even me, I'm still learning. But learn as you go. But so this broke highs. I want it to come back down, and my desired entry would be along this area here. And then when it starts to break highs and it breaks above the lows and it starts breaking highs on the 1 minute chart, then I'll look to take a position from 278 all the way up to 270 or 283. Most likely it's going to trade upon these areas just like this, sideways. Remember, it's not just uptrend, downtrend, uptrend. It's uptrend and then consolidation trend, which is why I said tomorrow might be slow. Consolidation trend and then downtrend or consolidation trend, larger. It could be completely sideways because again, It does like to trade. Let's not overcomplicate it. Hang on. Let me remove these so that you can see it. Now it bounced here, so yeah, pretty big resistance. Broke that support, or a pretty big support here, and it broke that support, used it as a resistance, and came down. Pretty big support here. Now we know that our trading area is from 280 to 276, or 277 technically speaking. So it's about a $3 trading area. So now what are we going to expect when it's touching this top support resistance area? It's probably going to come back down to its support and resistance area down here, to around that 276.85. But again, if it's growing, it's probably not going to come all the way back down and touch this area. It might come back down and touch on top of this area. So we'll edit this, activate it, and draw right there just for the safety, because you never know. It might not make higher highs. It might not make 100% recovery. So then you want to bring this down, and just know that you want to sell somewhere along this area at 282 to 283, almost 284. So it comes back down, and boom, it could touch along this area here if it's growing. Basically, what I'm saying is, what I want to see is, I want to see it come down and start showing the signs of the 100% fall, 100% recovery, pull back, and then boom, it breaks the highs, and then I would take a position on the good deal, and then it would probably start busting highs. So my overall price target is 283.57, and I'll take a picture and post this on my Instagram story. This is my overall price target. Now, most likely, it's either going to fall tonight and be a good deal for tomorrow for a small day trade, but overall, I hope within the next 4 days, by maybe next Monday or Tuesday, we'll start to see the push all the way to 283 to 284. Excuse me. But of course, I'm going to sell here just for the safety. Right when it touches this area, I'm probably going to sell. And now it'll probably either touch here or maybe even break highs. But I'm selling there just in case the downtrend does stay valid and start trending all the way back down. Trying to stay consistent and efficient. But yeah, that's my idea on SPY. That's what I think it's going to do. You can also look at SQQQ. I'm going to go look at VIX before I end it. Yeah, so VIX made this 100% push up. It came down and filled its gap, but still started trending down, 100% fall. Most likely it's going to push up a little bit, which means SPY is going to pull down. And then the SQQQ is going to continue to try to break the lows to mirror its side. Meaning SPY, since this one's going to pull up a little bit and pull down, that means SPY is going to pull down a little bit and then pull up. So that's pretty valid. It's always nice to have that other perspective of the stock market. SQQQ and VIX are the inverse of SPY and SPX. Of course, because SPX is the S&P 500 index, SPY is the ETF. Let's see. So see, we are approaching that nice resistance there, so it could come back down for a good deal. We made the 100% recovery. Now we're waiting for that pullback, typically around this area, but it might go lower, it might go higher, and then the pull back up to that area, the 283, which on here it says 2,834. Technically that's 284, but yeah, or 283.41. But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed the video. It would be awesome if you guys left a like, just to let other people know that it had good information. Maybe all the comments are going to stay there. So leave a like and subscribe. You can turn on that bell notification so that you know when I'm going live. I usually try to go live within the 15-minute mark so that people know, hey, within, he's about to go live in 15 minutes. So it prepares a lot of people to log in and kind of wait for it. But yeah, I do appreciate all the support, and we hit 101 subscribers. Awesome. So yeah, thank you guys for tuning in, and I will catch you up later on tonight or tomorrow to see what it does.